Hi, I'm Louie, and today I've got Gary.
Hi guys, how you doing today?
We're actually with Premier RV of Oregon.
I think we own it, don't we, Lou?
Yeah.
How many years have we owned this company, Lou?
Actually, it's coming up on 15 years. I don't know if you knew that, but
July.
15
years.
15 years in July. That's incredible.
It is.
I remember when we had one or two coaches we were working on, and then it snowballed about 2 years later, and we've been busy ever since.
It's been a great adventure. There's no doubt about it. From power washing our very first motorhome, you and I on the roof, to where we're at today.
Yeah, I remember the Black Widows.
I do
that,
too.
Coach.
I do
Hopefully
too.
they're not still around the buildings.
Yeah, I don't like to remember the Black Widows anymore, but.
Well, we're in our indoor storage facility. We've got about 75 coaches here in storage, so we do service, storage, and sales.
That's correct.
This was kind of a unique thing. This is a 2007 Country Coach Affinity, a beautiful coach. Affinities are custom paint jobs, custom interiors, and there's no one, you're never going to see another Affinity look like this. They're always different paint schemes, different colors.
Different interiors, custom made, one per week, what Country Coach did.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about what the situation on this one was kind of unique in the sense that this customer bought from a competitor of ours,
Yeah.
which is fine, but he saw your video actually on your remodel job there,
Yeah.
and he was so impressed with our facility that he wanted us to do all these remodels.
Yeah, great guy. Really, really interesting guy.
Yeah, I mean, he could have bought anything. I mean, we've spent, this coach actually, this remodel job's a little bit over $100,000.
Yep.
And we did a lot of different things, and he could have bought anything he wanted, but what I remember about him is he really liked the big engine, the 600, 4 slides, lots of livability inside the coach.
Yeah, I mean, his big thing was lots of livability. He's got grandkids, likes to take his grandkids. His son's also going to use it with his family. So livability was big with him. Quality was big with him. And at the end of the day, even though he probably could have bought a $1.1 million Prevost or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, he bought a $300,000 motorhome, put another 100 into it. So he's in it at 4 something probably would be my guess. And got a great motorhome. Just at the end of the day, he's going to have a great motorhome.
Yeah, I remember this coach. This was a custom order back in the day, one owner. It's been very low miles. Everything's original, even the wood floors. I was the only coach that Country did a radiant floor heat
with wood
floors. So,
yeah, pretty special.
Pretty unique coach, and I see where he's getting at. He just likes the quality of Country Coach, and you know, the look never goes away. These things are beautiful coaches. So.
Yeah, you would never know this in 07. Drive this into a park and somebody's gonna ask you where you bought your new coach from.
So some of the things he did, we'll start with the outside, and I guess more, why do you think he really came to us more than anyone else in that sense? I know the video helped, but
I think, you know, the guy, he's well-to-do. He did his research. He knows our shop is pretty well known for a quality of our employees, which is a big deal. You know, we have 15 to 20 service techs with 20 years or more experience in each one of them. So if you have that, you can work on a Country, you can work on a Monaco. It doesn't really matter because of the experience they have. So his thought was, if I'm going to go through this process, buy a little bit older motorhome, I want it done right. And I think our reputation, some of our videos we've done, led him to our way. He talked to Louie and I both before he brought it here. He got a comfort level with both of us. And then from there, me and him went over what he wanted to do. You know, in this particular individual, he did a lot of things that really didn't need to be done. I mean, he wanted a coach that he didn't have to worry about years down the road. So he spent quite a bit of money on what I really wouldn't call remodel. I would call, I just want this done, Gary. And some of those things we'll talk about here, like on a chassis side, it didn't really need airbags. He put all new airbags in. He just didn't want, Gary, I don't care, put them in.
they actually look pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, in 07, Countries are really good with airbags because they're so far interior. They don't see a lot of sun. They don't see a lot of that. So on the Country Coach models, the airbags usually last quite some time. These ones are really good. I don't care, I want new ones. Engine hoses, I don't care, Gary, replace all the engine hoses. Tires, he had brand new tires on this motorhome when he bought it. Gary, I want Michelin tires and I want 365s on the front. You know, he did some research there. They can go on the front. He originally asked for them to go on the tag. They can't go on the tag on this motorhome.
Because of the drum brakes versus disc.
Right. See, 07 had drum brakes on Countries. 07 or 08s had discs. They only work on disc brakes in that tag axle, drive axle combination. So he stuck with the 365s.
And in 2009, that became That
Right.
was standard on the Magnas and Affinities with a 365 20,000 pound front end.
Correct. What people go to 365s for is really a drivability. They can lower their tire pressure, gives them a softer ride. Country Coach went there in 09s with their Magnas and Affinities, and really because bigger's better. I mean, they wanted to compete with the Prevos. Prevos had a 20,000 pound front suspension. So if Prevo can do it, Country Coach can do it. So that's how Country Coach ended up with a 20,000 pound front suspension.
So yeah, we'll go over all the things he's done, but a lot of it was preventative maintenance.
Yep.
Obviously we did oil change, we did a lot of other things, sinks,
Right.
you name it, all that stuff. I think one of the things that separates us from a lot of other people is that your coach is always going to be plugged in here. You know, a lot of shops, your coach is going to be out on a dirt lot. It's not going to be plugged in at all times.
Right.
I think that makes a big difference being inside and everything else. Also, like you said, we've got 30 employees. Most of these people have worked at Country Coach for 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
So lots of tribal knowledge, I call, lots of good experience. Having our own cabinet shop. I mean, having Chris, who's one of,
Right. Yeah, Chris was the manager of the cabinet shop, one of the supervisors. Started in '89, the same year I started at Country. He sleeps cabinets, so I mean the guy. I mean I can't get rid of him. He shows up even when I don't have something for him to build.
Yeah, the guy beats us all to work.
Right,
He gets here at like 5 in the morning.
He just loves being here, and which is really all of our employees love being here. They love the nature of the business, they love the customers, and they love the product they're working on. Quality product. If you're an experienced tech, you want to work on a quality motorhome, and that's typically what we work on here, our high-end quality diesel motorhomes.
Yeah, and I think we have 3 painters that are really high quality painters, all from Country Coach,
Yep.
that have
Exactly.
tons of experience, and not only do they paint the cut and buff it, and they make it look factory. And
Yep.
that's not easy to do on an older coach.
And that's one of the things we did here. He had probably 10 to 11 different areas that we had to paint. Not that the coach was in terrible condition. He wanted all that stuff fixed. Little scratches, little bruises here, a little bit of fiberglass work here. Nothing that you would go, oh my God, I can't believe that's on the motorhome. But in this case, Gary, go around, mark all the spots that need to be painted, because when he takes it home, he's going to get it ceramic coated. He's got a guy at home that loves to do that kind of stuff, so he's going to do that at home.
Yeah.
We offer that, but he goes, I got to drive it back home anyway, so I'll get it done at home.
Probably a good decision.
Yeah. The other thing he did was all new roof airs. Every single one of his roof airs worked. He goes, Gary, I don't want to, they're 20 years old, or they're 15 years old, or wherever they were. Put new roof airs on for me, Gary. So, I mean, he spent $100,000, but he really did a lot of things that a lot of people don't really need to do.
Not our typical job, but
Right.
I get where he's coming from. He just doesn't want him or his family to have any issues.
Yep.
And, preventative maintenance goes a long ways. This is a little overkill, but hey, if you got the money,
Well,
what the heck?
If you got the money in for his, you're like, Gary, I got 2 or 3 weeks a year that I have time to do it. He wants to enjoy those 2 or 3 weeks. I completely get that.
So you did say something about he'd changed the headlights also?
Yeah, so we put in different headlights for him. He wanted the brightest headlights we got, so we got the xenon bulb headlights for him and put those in. New daytime running lights on the bottom just to kind of match a newer side there. He ended up doing new tail lights also. We ended up doing all new bulbs, LED bulbs in the tail lights. Actually, we did LED bulbs in all the exterior lights for him just because we wanted LED. The other outside thing he did, we'll go inside, talk about TVs, but he did a bay entertainment system here, pretty standard on Countries. I'll let Lou pull that out, so I'm a little old, I can't bend over anymore.
Pretty slick.
So we ended up doing a 40-inch TV in here for him. He wanted this to, actually this is running off its own receiver up in the cabinet because he likes to watch stuff down here while his other family is watching stuff on the inside. A little bit different, most people just run it off the front TV, but he does have a separate receiver just for this television inside.
I mean, he was really big into audio, video. I mean, we did, what, 2 or 3 different satellites?
He's really big into TV, so he wanted 3 different satellites for 3 different reasons. One is the normal Winegard Traveler, which most people have on their motorhomes. Stationary dish, automatic, pops up, gives you everything you want. The secondary dish is, this particular guy liked, his kids and him, if he wasn't driving, liked to watch golf, big time golfers. So he goes, Gary, I got to see golf going down the road. So he put a Winegard road trip up there for him so he can watch TV going down the road. That has its own satellite receivers also, just in how he wanted it wired. And then the last thing he goes, Gary, I go into trees. What should I do? Well, we gave him a camp one that he's allowed to put around wherever he wants to, put out there and do that. So he should never be without television. Let's just hope when he gets his DirecTV bill, it's not too much because of all his satellites and let's hope he gets more than the basic prescription, because with all this stuff he's got a lot of TVs going on here.
Yeah, he's covered if one fails. Huh?
Yeah.
And then
the last thing on the outside is windows. So it's an Affinity. They're known to fog. I don't know if there's anybody else in the country still repairing those. Well, there's really no repair. You buy all new glass, you remove the window from the motorhome. We have a clean room. You take them all in there, put all new glass in, re-glue the window back in. It isn't a tremendous amount of work. But if you're going to have a motorhome like this, you don't want to be looking through a foggy window. You want to see where you're at and how beautiful that is. So we replaced every window on the motorhome for him.
And the reason why they're fogging is because they're a dual pane window, and over time going down the road and stuff like that.
It's your home is a dual pane window, but it doesn't see an elevation change. Elevation change has a huge effect on motorhomes and windows. So that's the biggest cause for foggy windows is elevation change, and then temperature change. One day they're in Palm Springs at 110. The next day they're at Glacier and it's 31 degrees in the morning. Those are the two things that cause foggy windows. So that's why you see that more in a motorhome than you do at your home.
And I think we didn't really mention the part that he had us do the inspection. That was the first. Yeah. And Dave, who does all of our inspections, inspected the coach, checked everything out, came up with a list. We've worked on all those items also. Yep. And then he did all this other preventative stuff.
Yeah, so he did is what we generally do on a sales coach. We do a full house and chassis inspection. He wanted that done because he saw our videos saying, act like this is one of your guys' sales coaches. So Dave, he's been doing this since he's been in his diapers. He does all of those inspections. So what I did in this case is I wrote all that up for him, saying, here's all the stuff we found. General estimates, it's sometimes hard to give estimates because I know what the problem is, but I may not know what the repair is. So you have to be a little bit lenient there. But he said, just fix it all, Gary. There wasn't a single thing he didn't want fixed on the motorhome.
Yeah. And so we won't go through all the bays, but the other thing he did want is new batteries, right?
Right. We did all new house and chassis batteries for him.
So those are Lifeline batteries?
Yeah. So we do the Lifeline AGMs.
Non-maintenance?
No maintenance. He talked about lithium a little bit. We do that in the shop. He decided to stick with this. I think either way is a great way to go personally. I don't think there's no reason to go to, especially with this guy, he's going to be plugged in the whole time. He's not dry camping, so.
Well, you got 255 amp hours per battery. You got 6 house batteries. These
Right.
are just for the house, so
Correct.
that's a lot of
he's
dry camping capabilities.
Yeah, he can go a long ways even with his all his TVs and satellites running.
Yeah. So, anything else on the outside? I know you mentioned the front lights.
We went LED lights all around. I did that. We did tires. That's kind of generally what we did. I mean, we didn't do a ton of work on the outside. Like I said, we put 2 new house or chassis batteries in here for him.
And we painted all his bays. We had Caballo do the.
Yeah, we had, like I said, we treated
detail.
it like a sales detail where we paint all the bays, clean all the seals, make everything look nice and new. I mean, it's just, like I said, it's what we do we don't do that on every service coach. This guy asked for that to be done, and he spent a lot of money for it, so obviously we got that done for him.
So, anything in the back? I know you said the tail lights.
Yeah, we'd end up doing new tail lights.
LEDs. Huh?
Yeah, and nothing really super fancy there. Pretty normal tail light. Do have LED bulbs just because he wanted that look. We actually ended up doing a new mud flap for him also. That is a new mud flap down there, so we ended up doing that. And then we detailed his engine compartment. We did a full service. We changed fluids and hydraulic fluids. We changed coolant fluids for him. Did a transmission service and an engine service. He just wanted all fresh everything, just so he knows where he's starting.
Oh, I mean, this thing looks brand new. Pretty amazing.
It is. It's a beautiful motorhome.
Doesn't get better than that 600 Cummins.
Give me that 600 Cummins, this motorhome, and any other motorhome on the road, and I can tell you who's going to be in front. That's all I'm going to say.
So what we're going to do now is we'll get the slides out and talk about the interior. That's where we did a lot of the work also. Some of the things like the sink, I think we
Yeah, he
did.
wanted, like I said, same kind of theory of the new roof airs or tires, all new appliances. So it's something that he didn't have to do, but we did. He wanted true induction cooktops with his new appliances. He really liked Bosch. So not that I've installed a lot of Bosch here, but I researched Bosch appliances that would fit in his motorhome. Picked out Bosch's stuff for him. The sinks and Country Coaches sometimes can be a little bit not so user-friendly. So we ended up doing a very large stainless sink for him. Another thing is lights. You know, lights have come a long way since an 07 motorhome. LEDs, there's some LED fixtures out there that really brighten the coaches up. They look really good. We sell a lot of those. I think it's money well spent.
I tell people to do it all the time.
It's $2,600, something like that, to do the whole motorhome with labor, and it's really brightens the coach up. So we did that, and a lot of these were our suggestions.
It doubles the light inside the coach. So,
I mean, the lumen-wise, I couldn't tell you exactly what lumen difference would be, but it's probably, like Louie said, at least double. It's really nice.
Sounds very engineer-like, huh?
You know me.
Lumen.
That's why people love me, Lou.
Yeah.
You sell. I'm the technical guy.
Gary ran engineering for Country Coach for a long time, and I came from the sales department for Country Coach. So,
Yeah.
we'll go inside and see what we did in there.
All right.
But
It's dusty. You can see your fingerprint.
probably not tall enough. It's all up in. Oh no, we'll open that up.
Yeah, I'll open that up.
Just walk through the whole floor plan, and then we'll come up here and we'll.
We actually did. I couldn't. That's what I said. I knew this had heat underneath it, and the Country did this, huh? I just don't remember that one. Inside there should be a switch panel.
Did we do the ceiling fan? No.
Yeah.
No.
We did a lot in that galley that I'll explain. There's a lot of work done there to get what he wanted. Chris completely took the stink covers that were there and the stove pieces left over to rebuild that and to rebuild the sink covers.
That's amazing. Yeah, because that was concave.
It was reset.
All right, we made it to the inside, and hopefully Gary's got a good memory on what we did to this coach, but I know it was a ton of stuff.
Well, I won't remember all $100,000 worth, but I'll remember enough of the highlights to get us through this.
Probably starts with the front TV.
So we did all new TVs throughout. So you already saw the bay TV. There's a new front TV, a new bedroom TV. Pretty common that people are going to this larger dash radio that serves as the backup camera also. Very easy to use, big lettering. Our customers just love it. Like I said, I stock those units. We sell so many of them.
I tell you what, that's an awesome feature. I drive a lot, and that's a nice upgrade.
Yeah, it's one of the first things I would do if I own one of these motorhomes, because
Yeah.
I can't see the buttons on all those other little ones.
Yeah.
Another pretty feature that a lot of people are starting to do is this cabinet. We rebuild it, suck it back, And the purpose of doing that so is you can sit on the sofa on this end and still view the television.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty, like I said, a lot of people that see our videos, they see that and they go, Gary, I want to do that.
That's a great idea, because normally this cabinet would come out here. So if you were in the forward part of the sofa, you kind of got to lean forward to
Correct.
see the TV. Now, if you're back here,
You're okay.
You're okay, but
But if you're on the forward side of the sofa, you're missing 30% of your television.
that's a really good idea. So
So here's all those different receivers satellite receivers we did here. We ended up doing a new amp, and the reason we have to do a new amp is the older amps, if we shrink this back, they're too deep. So the amp that was in here, they're great amps, but because he wanted it shrunk back, I had to buy a different amp that's not as deep.
yeah,
We ended up doing a new Blu-ray player just to go with the system. He has these, you'll see these AB switches around the motorhome. We'll explain to those how they work. They're basically which satellite is watching on which TV is what's going on there. That's pretty much all we did in the front. One of the things we did on our systems check is, Silverleaf is through a lot of Country Coaches. I had my guy plug it. We have laptops that plug into the Silverleaf systems. We changed upgraded some of his programming for him because it was a little bit old, and made sure the whole system worked, which is another unique thing with us versus a lot of other people. We just have that technology and we have the skill set in which to do that.
yeah. No, that's why people want to come here. So that's pretty cool.
So we were talking about lights. He ended up doing, these are the LED fixtured lights. So before it would have had a 10 amp or 10 watt halogen bulb in each one of these, which create a lot of heat, is one thing they do. They actually take quite a bit of power. This is an LED fixture, really good looking fixture, and you can see that I don't have all the lights on this motorhome, and we're in a dark building and it's very lit up inside here. It's just, like I said, another one of those things that I recommend to everybody. It's just a great upgrade for not a lot of money.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. No, it's so much more light in here. And then
One of the other things we did was his solid surface was a little bit dull, so we ended up sanding and polishing all of his solid surface in the motorhome for him. Makes it look, it's one thing great about solid surface, I can make it look brand new again. You would never know somebody's had a plate on that table. It looks like brand new. We did a lot of work in the kitchen area, and I mean quite a bit of work for this guy. So one is, Country's usually known for a drinkware set right here. They're really pretty. It gives great separation room to room, is kind of why Country Coach did it. This particular guy goes, I'd rather have the storage. So we end up remaking the door, taking all the mirrors out, putting a shelf in, do storage for them. Another pretty popular option we do.
look how he matched it, though. I mean, the quality of his workmanship is incredible.
Well, he built it at Country. He probably built the cabinet or supervised the cabinet, the guy that did it.
Yeah.
It is cherry, so you'll notice that this coach was a light cherry motorhome. And so this cherry, give it 6 months, it'll look identical to that color. It's just how cherry's going to age. The other big thing he wanted, like I said, I talked about sinks. So he wanted a very large, the biggest stainless sink I could get. So you could wash your baby in that puppy if you wanted to. If I'm going to do a new sink, I got to do a new faucet too. So we picked up a nice faucet for him. We ended up, he also wanted a Bosch cooktop, and he wanted, like I said, a true induction. In which to do that for him, he wanted a 3-burner. So this sink, the original one was recessed down in. I don't have this solid surface, and it's kind of hard to get sometimes. So,
but when you mean recess, so it was actually down in here, and it had covers that would cover that whole thing.
That's correct. It sat down 2.5 inches.
So how in the heck did you build this up?
So we took, like I said, back to Chris and how great he is. We took the covers that were here, along with the Corian surround that was on the inside.
Wow.
Glued them, pieced them together, and I'm telling you, if you took a microscope to this, you could not tell what we did there. How we end up building that back up and doing that. It turned out really good. This solid surface is a good color to do that because it has a lot of flake into it, so it makes it to where it's another color that's good. He also wanted a Bosch microwave. Well, the Bosch microwave, since I raised this in the normal cabinet, it was too close to the cooktop. So we said, you know what? We redid this cabinet and raised this 2 inches is what we did to get more surface between the cooking surface and the bottom of the microwave. We didn't have to do that. I didn't even tell him I did that. It was just the right thing to do. Now he's going to get charged for it, but it's still the right thing to do.
So it was a height issue.
It was a height issue.
Height. Oh.
Oh, and his Bosch refrigerator. Like I said, hadn't done a lot of Bosch. I really like this refrigerator though. Fit in the opening. We didn't really have to do anything there, but really nice inside. A lot of room. Nice refrigerator. It's got dual cooling zones. A little bit of money for the refrigerator, I'll be up front with you. It's not the cheapest thing we've ever bought, but super nice.
And he originally wanted, what, the KitchenAid?
He wanted a Sub-Zero. He's got Sub-Zero all in his homes, but Sub-Zeros don't fit in motorhomes. The cooling unit's on top. I'd had to raise the roof. I was going to quote that for him, but I decided, a couple $1,000,000 to raise the roof. I decided not to go down quite that far.
Yeah.
The other thing we did is Country Coaches. We ended up building new storage guides down here for sink covers. They're originally over here. We moved them. They wanted a large roll out here that they're going to use for pots and pans. Now, I know some of you would use this for liquor, and you can use it for liquor too storage if that's what you want to do. This particular guy wanted pot and pan storage.
Yeah.
If it was
or a dishwasher would normally.
If it was you and I, Lou, it'd be wine and liquor, wouldn't it? I know it would be. I just know it would be.
This floor plan is actually, it's an Affinity floor plan. It's called the Stag's Leap. It's very similar to the Magna floor plan called the Rembrandt. So
yeah, and it was built with a custom table up front instead of the normal larger sofa.
Yeah, normally you would have a much longer sofa here, but the person that ordered it, they did this nice little storage area. They didn't need a 96-inch sofa like you would normally have in a Rembrandt or a Stag's Leap floor plan. The other thing he did, which was custom, is he made this area with a pull-out.
Yeah. Careful, I have that.
Oh.
I put the piece in there.
Oh, so that's kind of cool. So this right here, our cabinet maker makes this to hold the doors into place. So when you're traveling, the doors don't open.
Yeah, your pickle jar doesn't fall on the floor. That's what we call it. It's the pickle jar saver.
So you don't want the pickles to hit the ground.
No, you customers have had that happen. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
This looks really cool. I like that a lot. Anything back here?
No, just same thing, the lighting. We didn't do anything in the vanity for him. He liked all that kind of stuff, so we kept that the same.
Ceiling fan?
The bedroom, he wanted a ceiling fan. So we put in a ceiling fan for him. Looks simple. Another pretty, you gotta get wiring from here to here through the roof. So we do quite a bit of that. 43-inch TV in the bedroom.
Wow.
Fits really well in this cabinet. There's very little cabinet work for us to do there. We end up doing a Wally, another AB switch. The amp in here with DVD player was perfectly fine. There was no reason to spend money there. So he kept that the same. And really that's about it. He already had the upgraded closet doors. We're already there. That's kind of about basically what we did, Lou.
Yeah. No, I mean, it looks unbelievable. And it's pretty low miles from what I remember, right?
Yeah, I think it's under 50 for sure, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, he definitely picked a winner and made it his own by making the changes that he wanted to be done on this coach.
Yeah, I think he made a great decision. We get that question quite a bit. People have money to spend, and he could have went and bought $1 million coach. He could have went and bought, excuse me, a $700,000 coach. Like I said, he's probably into this 400-ish, and I think it's way better.
I think he's in the, yeah.
Probably 350.
350 or something.
350 is.
I'm not quite sure what he paid for it, but
yeah, I'm not sure either.
But with everything that's been done, it's a heck of a motorhome.
Oh,
now.
he's got. Look at this thing. It's worth every penny, no doubt.
The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get you and Dave. The other thing that really separates us is that we have a lift where we can lift the coach up off the ground, and we do our chassis inspection, and that's where he does the airbags and all the other things.
Yeah, so the coach is going to go to the chassis area. We'll get it up on the lifts, and I'll be talking with Dave on the different things he did, what he saw in his inspection, and some of the things, like I said, this is the customer wanted to do.
Cool. Well,
all right,
thanks.
Lou, let's
Awesome.
get this thing moved over there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sitting here with Dave Rutherford. He's our chassis tech. He's been with us pretty much since day one. was a chassis tech at Country, just a great employee, knows chassis left and right. He really knows everything about a motorhome, but we get so busy in our chassis area, he's pretty much focused on that. Here with the 07 Affinity again, like I said, when the gentleman bought it, he asked us to do a full inspection, house and chassis. So we do our chassis inspections here up on the lift. Dave will go through, look at everything there is to look at. I'll let Dave kind of explain some of the things he looks for on these coaches. And then we'll explain to you what we did. In this case, we ended up doing airbags, all the services. He wanted new hoses, filters everywhere, different things like that.
So a normal part of our inspection on coaches of this age would be to pay special attention to airbags, which would be an item that ages out over time. We're getting to see that a lot of them are getting cracked and checked. So we'll take a good look at the air springs. We'll also take a good look at sway bar bushings. This particular coach, the sway bar bushings were in good shape, so we didn't do anything there. We did change out every airbag on the coach. So in this instance, there would be 14 of them, I believe. So quite a bit of work there. We'll take special care to look at the brake rotors. Most of these, because they're such a heavy-duty unit, they're still in pretty good shape. Sometimes we have to change out some brake pads here and there. So in the rear, you can see we've got new airbags here we changed out, where we take special attention to making sure the shocks are in good shape. This particular model, the shocks are pretty stout, so we don't see too many problems there. But occasionally you get a broke one or one leaking oil. Take special care to check the driveline and U-joints, checking for play in those. And then, of course, looking for fluid leaks from circulation pumps or transmission output shaft. Checking the radiator pack. We do see failures on radiators on occasion, so we like to make sure that those aren't leaking. And then any of the fluids in the hydraulic system, which would be to run the fan, and any of the power takeoff components and hoses. These ones were all in good shape. We didn't have to do anything there.
They just showed up.
Yeah, because I turned it down originally with the other company because they wanted so much fucking money.
That pretty
for the
much wraps up
offices
the
when
rear.
we did the- Hey, we're back again. So I kind of wanted to explain, a lot of service work, including this, even with our sales coaches, we do an inspection. And we do what we call an engine chassis service. Our engine chassis services that Dave do are more than just changing an oil filter, putting some oil in. We have a sheet we go through here with, 24 items that Dave's really going through and checking. Anywhere from, like I said, changing the fuel filters, oil filters, new fluids everywhere. And I won't say everywhere. If the coolant is in good shape, we're not going to change the coolant. If the hydraulic filters have been changed recently, we're not going to do that. But he's going to lube all the joints on the motorhome that need to be lubed. And what we see is coaches coming in that some people just don't know where those fittings are at to lube. So we see them being fairly dry. So you need somebody that know these type of coaches, these chassis, to really understand where that needs to be done. And we do something really similar from a generator service. We have the same sheet that we're going to give our customers of here's all the stuff we checked, along with an aqua hot service is really the same way. We're going to give our customers, here's what we've done, here's what we've found, and went from there. Anything you want to add to that, Dave?
No, just our familiarity with Country Coaches specifically allows us to make sure that we don't miss anything on the greasing, each and every zerk. Some of them are hidden, hard to find. Doing the testing on the coolant that should be done, and making changes as necessary with coolant filters, and just our particular knowledge of these coaches helps us to know what to do on these older models like this.
As Dave was saying, this is a Country Coach, and most people recognize us as a Country Coach experts, which is true. Most of us all here came from Country Coach, have been in the industry for a long time. But as our business has changed, we probably are doing 40% other brands nowadays, and I would still consider us, one of the best service shops in the country for, I don't care if it's a Monaco, a Tiffin, a Newmar, a Beaver. It doesn't really matter. They're all very similar. They're all very nice motorhomes. So, you know, as time goes on, we have become truly experts in almost all of those motorhomes. To the matter of fact that Winnebago actually gave us an award last year for being one of their top service centers for the Winnebago products. So, like I said, we do a lot of Country Coach work, but we're very experienced in all of the brands also.
All right, so that's it for the 2007 Country Coach remodel. Gary, got anything to say?
Yeah, you know, it's like I said, I've read some of our stuff. I've listened to our customers. It's been a while. It's been probably almost 2 years since I've done a remodel, and we do probably 10 to 15 coaches like this a year. Is about all we can do just because of how busy we are. So I promise to you guys, I'll try to get one of these done once or twice a year for you. Me and Lou will make sure we get that done for you. And as Lou would say, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
It's free.
It's free. Thanks guys.
Thanks
See
for
you
watching.
next time.
All right.